All right, cool. Here we go.
Hello and welcome to the Spaghetti Junction podcast. My name is Bruce.
I'm Gareth.
We talk about things, we just don't know where they're going to go.
That is right, champ. We do not know where they're going to go. I was just telling you off this, before we started, and it'll pretty much, tie into this. Won't really.
Definitely ties into it.
Yeah, we definitely won't speak about it a lot because you and me have already chatted about it. But it's just the applying for a new job and the stress and anxiety and unsurety if you can actually do it, even though you probably have majority of the skills. And this was linked to my management style and can I do what is expected of me from this new role. Just makes you think too much. And we were saying that a change is always a good thing. So I think I can, but it scares the shit out of me right now, to be honest. It really does.
Change in new situations can always be scary, but we also discover new things about ourselves when we're in those situations, either good things, bad things. We don't know, but it's only until we're in those situations that we discover those things. So,
well, yeah, and then I was saying to you that sometimes, even if we discover things, you can also discover that you'll just can't do that role.
Which is also a good thing, because then you're like, okay, cool, I can't do that, but I can move on to something else. And
I just don't want to start a job and going in with where the boss is going in with his expectations of you, and then you fall short, and it's like, I don't want to do that.
I get you.
I don't want to do that. I want to go in. And I think some of it is self-belief, but
absolutely.
But I do remember when I started my last job, also the first few days, I was like, what the hell am I getting into? The difference with this one is that it's only 2 people involved, where the one that I'm doing now is a larger team. So I'm going to think about it. I would definitely like to do it, because, there is, room to grow there, and you can get more involved in hospitality and so forth. Maybe if I have like a really chill out evening, watch Netflix or something, and then think, okay, let's breathe. First thing in the morning, sit down, write down your thoughts, and it might actually be okay.
Correct. Yeah. Think about it. Just think about the facts, put the emotions to the side, and just don't get too much inside your head. Just sort of lay out the facts for yourself. Overthinking is a killer.
Oh yeah, I do that a lot, dude. Okay, but now
I used to.
Yeah, it is hard, isn't it?
I used to be a big overthinker, and then I basically cured myself. Now, sometimes I still overthink. Trust me, there's certain situations.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I've chilled out a lot.
Let me tell you one good thing. I say there are many good things that will come from this if I'm offered the job and if I do it. One is I can actually ask out somebody from the staff where I work at, and it won't be dodgy.
That's good. Yeah, because you never want to get involved with people you work with. So someone has to leave the job.
To actually make it happen. Exactly.
Exactly. And it's like, exactly.
For me, I'm management and she's on the team. So obviously, if anything happens.
Nope.
So I'm going to approach that when I leave. I don't really know much about her, to be honest. She seems very cool. She's fun to be around with. She's really nice character, and yes, she is quite beautiful. She's just really cool in a lot of things. Now, obviously, I don't know her. She doesn't know me. But my next step is to actually ask one of my friends there, Andy, who runs liquor. So, Andy, can you just like by the by, just chat with Angel and just, sort of like, do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a kid? I mean, just way asking. This is, we're friends. Just so I can know in advance and not to look like an idiot if it's just not a possibility.
Is there any sort of vibe when you guys interact
We don't
that
really
you can
work
pick
a
up,
lot
that you pick up on, or not?
recently, when I was more like, but not really, because she works. I mean, I'm hardly in touch with. I mean, I'm in touch with the staff, but not like a lot. You know what I mean? I don't
Okay.
really sit down and chat with them, to be honest.
Right.
So I don't know. Look, the worst that can happen is you put yourself out there. Who knows? And if it doesn't work out, that's okay. You learn something new, and you feel like a chump, but you've already left the business, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. You shoot your shot, man. Don't know what's going to happen.
So tell me, what is shooting the shot? Let's break it down. Let's be hoo-ha! Hoo-ha!
Asking the girl out, just going, hey,
Hey, yeah.
And and it does, and girls, and you're the guy, so it's always on you to make the first move.
I didn't know that. Huh. That makes so much sense now. When I look down and see my genitalia, that's I'm the guy. Just to make it clear, yes, I am. I'm the guy.
Yes. So it's on us to make the first move. So if you see an attractive girl, or you like an attractive girl, I like to see if there's a little bit of a vibe first.
For sure.
Like if there's an interaction going, okay, cool. There's certain things that she's doing, certain things in her behavior, and then I'm like, okay, I'm kind of picking up on she might be interested, and then the way the conversation goes and that kind of thing. Then you're like, okay, cool, here we go.
Yeah, you see, with us, we hardly chat because I'm busy, and then she's doing shelves in the store, and then I'm running around doing something. And look, I mean, we had a very good interaction yesterday. She has a bit of sass to her, which I really like. I like some
attitude.
I like it. Yeah, I do. I love it. Because that basically means that if you're going to give her a shit, it'll come back to you, kind of thing, which I quite like. So we had like a little bit of that going on. But like I say, it's very hard to read because obviously the staff doesn't really look at you in the college. She might not. I have no idea. So who knows? To be honest, the closest that I'm going to do this is just to find out if it's even worse. I mean, I feel there might be something, but it's like this kind of feeling. I feel that there is something there besides nothing, but it could be 10% or 50%.
Is she? What's the age difference between you guys?
I have no idea.
Is she definitely younger than you?
Oh yeah, I think she's probably late 20s, I think, but it's very hard to tell a woman's age.
All right, so that's a cool thing, especially if she's giving you sass, because she's it's quite cool, because if you're an older guy, you can be like the whole, like, now listen here, young lady, kind of thing. You can bring that older guy authoritative energy. And I tell you what, dude, the younger girls eat it up. They absolutely love it.
Jeez.
When you exert it, I promise you it works, dude. Trust me, it works.
People who are actually watching this far, we are actually in our topic, aren't we, Bruce?
Yes, we are. This is a big part of it.
Right now, this is actually part of our conversation. So good. I'm glad we went there. So interesting conversation about who I may or may not like. But yes, we're all going to be talking about this male improvements and the people who do it. The whole gurus behind it. And Bruce is definitely,
and there are a lot of them.
Oh yeah, you got to weed through them. Bruce is definitely, I would say, well, most percentage more involved with it because I don't really listen to those podcasts or watch them. I'm
Mm,
aware
yeah,
of who people are. I just haven't really
yeah,
taken the time to, but I'm aware of who they are, and I'm aware of some of them who their messages are a bit. Somehow, I think we agreed. Some of them will say some good stuff, and some is
yeah.
like, weigh it with a bag of salt kind of thing. But on
Correct,
to you, Jim.
correct.
Yeah. So I think it's finding that middle line, like, okay, what can I believe and let help me forward my life, and what is like, it's like, I don't know if we can start with Top G guy, but the oh, why not? But the
Yeah,
one
why
thing
not?
that so Top G is obviously Andrew Tate, who
Hmm.
is in the mire and muck of countless accusations and court stuff and whatever. One thing
Yeah,
why I'm bringing him up is one thing he says is that he doesn't believe in depression. He says you got to kick your ass, get out there, sort yourself out, and you'll be okay. And it's like, so what happens if somebody is actually depressive and they're being told, and they're like really, really like Andrew Tate and they're going for it, and it's like, oh shit, this is kind of my fault, I'm feeling crap, so I got to get out of it. And if you are depressive for whatever time period, then you're going to start blaming yourself, and then you get more spiraled down.
yeah. I think with Andrew Tate, like I've listened to my share of his stuff. Um, a lot of his stuff I've enjoyed listening to because I like hearing that. Sometimes for me I just need my ass kicked. I'm like, oh, I might be in a weird place, and I'm like, listen to some of the stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. Let's just okay,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
it sometimes gets me out of a funk. I'm like, so I can sometimes get a little down, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, some of his stuff has sounded pretty good, but yes, for a lot of people, he has sort of become extreme, and a little too extreme, and then
Yeah.
now, okay, how much now you've got all accusations that go into legal stuff about that. It's like, well, how much do you want to follow someone who's had all that stuff,
Yeah, because you
who's
can
been
say,
accused of all of
well,
that stuff?
the one thing might not be true. For example, you can say that, but the amounts of accusations and everything, it's like there has to be something. Otherwise, he's
Yeah,
just the most hated guy out there, and he's done nothing wrong, and women love him, but they don't say so. You know what I mean? There's got to be
yeah,
stuff there. So I agree with you. You've got to be careful who you follow, especially when you're young. A lot of these
yes,
self-help guys, especially
yeah.
Andrew Tate, draws in teens.
Yeah, you see the thing with Andrew Tate was he became so visible,
Yeah.
and so obviously and all these young guys are on TikTok, they're on Instagram, so then that stuff just starts getting funneled to them, and um and so yeah, you have to be in this space. I'm like, I've been listening to guys in this type of space for a long time, probably since about 2019. I think that's probably when I
Oh
started,
wow.
when I
Okay.
kind of
Okay.
when I discovered the space. And
Yeah.
and so I've been listening to it since long before it became the new hot topic that everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
Not a lot of guys were talking about it. It was a very small little portion of the internet, and now it's become a lot more mainstream.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys have gotten onto it. Now, a lot of guys do really, really good work in the space. I really, really think they do. And there's a lot of guys who genuinely want to help other guys, because there's so many guys in the world who are disillusioned and really struggling to find answers, whether
Yeah.
it's how do I just get better with girls so I can find a girlfriend, or how do I get my money sorted, or what can I do to, let's find a gym guru. I need to get my physique better, fitness, whatever. you know,
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
different all of those different areas. But because guys are seen, this is a way to, you know, channel a little bit more income to my YouTube channel and that kind of thing. You do have some guys who are a little less experienced in that, and they dole out less than great advice when it comes to especially dating and that kind of thing. And a lot of guys have gotten into the space, and all they do is they preach hopelessness. Don't even bother with women. They're not even. It's not, you know. You just got to be good. If you're not 6 foot and good looking and jacked, you're never going to get a girlfriend. I'm like, no, dude.
That's
you know, and
helpful, isn't it?
and then guys connect with that, and it's this doom and gloom attitude, and it's like, I might as well just not even try. I really like this girl, but what's the point, you know? Like, dude, no. You know, and I've also got to be very careful because I'll end up I start chopping it up with some of my male students in our guitar lessons sometimes. You know, the younger guys, 16, 17, 18, they're out there, they're on social media, they're dealing with girls at school, you know, and if I want to send any of them any of this information, I've got to be very careful about what I send them. So I've got to vet, and I've got to make sure, like, okay, this little video might be really helpful, but you know, I've really got to think, okay, is this guy that I'm gonna, is all this information going to be helpful and that kind of thing, before I send that stuff to them. And you know, sometimes, you know, you've got to wait. Maybe I'm going to send something different to a 16-year-old guy than I will to an 18-year-old guy.
Exactly.
You got to be very careful about that.
There's one of the youngsters who works, you know, where I work. I think he's probably 16, 17, and he like believes flat out that there's nothing wrong that Andrew Tate has done. He was like, "What? Andrew Tate doesn't speak truth?" He has this persona of Andrew Tate or whoever with him is Andrew Tate, that he can do no wrong, and it makes no sense that what he says isn't true. Because like he questioned me, he says, "Okay, why don't you find me some things about him that you know that show that he's not, you know, that the stuff he says isn't always good." He's like adamant, and he's a really cool kid. And it's like the infiltration. I agree with you. It's what you send to the certain ages, 100%.
Yeah. I've never sent anything regarding Andrew Tate to anyone. But because it's, I listen to a lot of guys that there's no hype when it comes to their channels, and a lot of times, and this is a big thing that I've found in the last couple of years is, this is where you've also got to be careful if you're in the space, is there's so much drama between the channels, and the guys are like, you know, telling, this channel he doesn't know what he's talking about, you need to listen to me, and all this beefs and all this drama, and it's all freaking clickbait on bloody YouTube. And it's like, okay, like, you guys are just having this freaking beef between you. You're not actually helping anyone.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
and as soon as I start seeing those types of clickbaity thumbnails, I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna. I click not interested. I'm not even gonna go.
Yeah, 100%, bud.
Because if I'm still gonna listen to this stuff, I'm still listening to stuff that's gonna help me in certain areas. They're talking about an interesting topic regarding, you know, women's communication, or this is a fitness thing that these are all my favorite guys, and they're starting to chop it up about a fitness thing. Like, cool, I'll work on that. And then it's a panel show, and they're talking about that, and there's no drama. It's just they're talking opinions, and they're talking facts, and they're getting everyone's input, and they're having a really cool discussion for an hour. Great, you know, and I'll get something out of that. So, and I think that what it was I just want to say this one thing. I think just like, and I think we've talked about this before. There's always this human need to belong to a community. We're a community-based species, you know, and so many everyone wants to belong to something. They want to feel accepted. And I think when you can create a space where someone feels like they belong, but you're also helping them to grow and level up, that's a cool combination. And I think a lot of there's a lot in the space that does that. But then there's a lot of negativity, especially when it comes to dating and women. So they've sort of, that's unbalanced kind of thing. So sorry, you were going to say something.
Yes, I was actually going to ask you, like, what has drawn you to listen and follow those for years? What, 4 or 5 years? Like what draws you in to actually last with something for so long? Because that's not a norm for a lot of people to be. And maybe it's self-improvement, I guess, but like, how much can you improve yourself that it gets to a point where you have improved yourself? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get you. Okay, so in my experience, and the reason I entered this space, and the reason a lot of guys enter this space, is they want to sort out their dating lives and all that. Then what it does is it sort of moves more from sort of the dating into like overall self-improvement, getting into the gym, getting your fitness sorted, getting your fashion sorted, getting your finances sorted, and becoming the best version of who you can be. And so I definitely entered the space because I had questions about women. Oh, why is she doing this? Why did she do this? Why is she communicating like this? And then you go down this rabbit hole and you suddenly discover like, oh, flip, a lot of guys are talking about this stuff. And then from there, and that's why it started. And then, but now it's become, and a lot of guys started, they do the self-improvement thing because they want to get better with girls. They want to get the girls, you know?
Well, it's not just the girls. So that's the case.
It's not. This is the thing. Exactly right. So, and what the problem is that women should not be the reason you do this. You do this for yourself, but then it improves on your dating life. So it's a sort of a byproduct. Improving on your dating life is a byproduct, but you're doing the best stuff you can for you first, you know? And too many guys put so much emphasis on they're doing it because they want to get girls and they want to get women. And that's where you don't want to be.
That's just dangerous, I think, because that's the only reason why. Then what happens if your dating life still sucks and you still can't get a girl? Then what?
It's like the expectations of guys are like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get in the gym and I'm gonna get jacked, and then all these girls are gonna come at me. It's like, you know, but you want to see the comments and likes on any guy who gets jacked on Instagram? It's all guys. Hey bro, what's your lift max, bro? What are you on there? How do you checking your macros, bro? It's not girls going, oh my word, he's so hot. Oh my word, I just want to run my hands all over it. Like, no. And so, like, fine, get in the gym, get jacked, get a lack of physique.
Nothing wrong with it, yeah.
But the thing is, if you've never practiced social skills with women, you're gonna be a muscular, creepy loser because you don't know how to talk to a girl.
Yeah,
you know, so that's the thing. Like, great. So that it all has to balance out. Like a well-rounded man, I believe, is, you know, he looks good. He dresses in a way that complements whatever physique he has. He's in the gym regularly, but he also has social skills. He can read a room. He can understand. He picks up on when a girl is flirting with him. He picks up on all those nuances and all of that. And that's a skill that you could learn as well. And there's nothing wrong with learning that. So,
but how about if you don't go to gym, can you still pass? Because I ain't going to gym. Fun facts, I'm probably going to join a gym on Thursday.
Go
probably.
Get it.
Like, you get it. Because the only reason why is because it's like a really good price. And also they give away Sony headphones if you join on Thursday. It's like, okay, you hooked me. I'm not coming to do the weight. I'm coming for the headset, and then I might go to gym once every month. But I got my Sony headset.
Well, fine. You know, if a guy doesn't want to go to the gym, where there are other aspects to level up in.
Exactly, because
You know?
sometimes I don't go to gym. I may go to gym, but if gym is the like one of the pivotal points, well, then that's many guys are out, and that's not true.
I should, but that's the thing. You go to you hit the gym for you. Like I keep consistent with my workouts and going for a run and all of that because I like how it makes me feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I feel great after a workout. I feel good when
yourself. Absolutely.
Yes. However,
oh my gosh,
when I take my shirt off and I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, oh wow, okay, now I see why. And I know that I look good. I know that I look good underneath my clothes. It then, I'm going to use the M word. It manifests outwardly.
Yes. Manifest is the word they use.
We got to put we had to put the word manifest somewhere in there in a very unironically sarcastic way.
so tell me.
But it does work. It does help myself. It does work with your self confidence. That's a good, and that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with it.
I mean, the last time I remember doing gym was like 20 years ago, but I still remember. No, actually not. Yeah, close. Anyway, it was a long time ago. I still remember though that I had a good physique. That I ran a 5K race with I trained, but not a huge amount of training. I have a photo, and it's like I had a six pack. I was good, and I do remember going to gym, even though it was painful. When you leave, it's like, yeah, that was good. That was good. Yeah, exactly. It is good for the soul, for the mind. Now, tell me, some of the guys that you listen to and watch to, and give me like one now. Why do you listen to them? Yeah, just break one of them down for us.
So the main guy that I listened to for a long time, I think I've mentioned him to you before. His name is Rollo Tomasi.
Yeah,
and he's been doing this for a long time, and he wrote a book which has now become a book series called The Rational Male, where he really does break down a lot about what we call intersexual dynamics, just the dynamics between men and women, and how men communicate and how women communicate, and understanding the differences, and then, but it does go into more of the, being better with social skills and the more of the sort of overview of male self-improvement. He's leveled up a lot, and on different podcasts and that kind of thing. And sometimes even he gets a little bit more into the sort of the drama aspect, which I'm like, oh, dude, I don't want to listen to this. Go away. So, but his older stuff is very, very helpful. I found it very helpful. I kind of connected with it. And yeah, so that's I think a lot of guys, when they talk on their channels, you can tell that they've read Rollo's books, because Rollo put everything together in one book, and then you can tell a lot of those guys have sort of read that material, which is not a bad thing. It's not plagiarism. He's like, this stuff's open source. Just take it and use it.
So like when you listen to him or whatever it is, you're saying more of the older stuff. The newer stuff, is he not as good as his older stuff? Has he like changed his approach or stuff that people should look out for, if that makes sense?
Yeah, not really. He's still doing the same thing, but just sometimes he talks about things that aren't really he kind of waffle on for a long time about something that doesn't really mean much and whatever. Every now and then that happens. But it's like, but also, you know, you kind of think like, how much longer can you actually talk about this stuff? I mean, guys are talking no matter what,
Yeah.
but they might get to a point where everything that can be talked about has been talked about.
Yeah.
So that's why I must admit, these days I'm not listening to a huge amount of it. Um, Although I was there's another channel. It's called Modern Life Dating, and this guy John he's done extremely well. He leveled up. He left the United States. He had $1,000 in his pocket, and he went to Japan, and he burned the boats and created a new life for himself in Japan. And he's created a massive channel and a really cool community of guys. But he's
Yeah.
hardcore. He'll call you a bitch, make you cry, and then he'll show you how to improve yourself. Which is cool. You know, he's
Well,
not for,
sure.
and so, but he's very good. And I was actually just listening to one of his newer ones just before I came on with you, and he's talking about how this whole, what they call the manosphere or the red pill space or whatever, is not what it used to be. It really
So, Sana,
has.
what is that for people who don't know what that is?
It's basically just it's the understanding, when you hear about the red pill space or whatever. It's basically the understanding of the dynamics between men and women, and how men and women communicate, and how men can understand how women communicate, so that they can do better within the dating space, relationships, marriage. It goes right up to marriage and that kind of thing.
Okay.
And a lot of a lot of guys like John have done very well financially coaching guys. But the cool thing is about someone like John is that he genuinely wants to help people, and that's what you've got to find. You've got to find the guys who genuinely want to help, rather than the guys who are grifters. And the problem is we've had
Yeah.
we've had a lot of female dating coaches trying to get in on this red pill space,
Really?
trying to
Okay.
coach guys. I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
Christian guys, no. Maybe if it was girls, that makes sense. But yeah, yeah.
Exactly. This is why and one of the biggest rules is you don't listen to a woman's dating advice. Because girls aren't guys. So, you know,
That's very
girl world
correct.
and boy world in these days is very different. It's not, being a guy in the dating scene and stuff it's not like being a girl in the dating scene, you know. It's
Oh no,
so
that's why guys and girls are great, because you run on separate minds, and that's why it's great. Otherwise, it'd be boring
correct.
if you're both exactly the same.
Exactly. And the problem is, and I actually got into, I don't know why I do this, but I got into it with a guy on Facebook the other day. And I think it was a meme. Came up on Facebook about the whole thing about, you know, guys can get very frustrated with the way women communicate. And you know, why can't women just be direct in their communication? Oh, you know, say what they mean and mean what they say. Damn it! You know, oh, it's so frustrating. Like,
And it probably flips
no.
back from the other side as well.
And then, but then I got into it. I'm like, dude, you need to, like, girls communicate. There's so much about a woman's communication that isn't verbal, and girls don't communicate directly like guys do, and they never will. You know.
I think they
And
do,
so
though. I
when a
mean, the
girl
women that I've met are pretty clear on how they feel.
well, you know, girls enjoy subtlety and innuendo, and there's a lot to do with their body language and that kind of thing as well. And I think, and the more a guy learns about that, and about how a woman's behavior communicates a lot of what she's actually wanting to say,
Mm.
girls become a lot less frustrating, and a lot of guys aren't willing to learn that stuff. Whenever I'm interacting with a girl, I'm hearing what she says, but I'm watching a lot of what she's doing.
Sure.
Her eye contact, how she's acting around me. Is she acting in a way that she might be flirty and girly and feminine to indicate to me that she's actually interested in me, because she's not going to say that out loud. She really isn't. And it's up to me as to understand that communication. And she's like, Bruce, I'm actually telling you that I really like you, but she's not telling me with words. And
so tell me now, as our time gets shorter, any other like thoughts? So yes, we got the whole girl thing. That's good.
Yeah.
But there's got to be more to it than just that.
No, absolutely. So with the with the improvement thing, you know, I think it's always just good for a guy to want to be getting better in whatever area he chooses. Like with you're trying to level up with finding a new job, or a guy will look at himself in the mirror and goes, oh, flip, man, I really need to get in the gym. Kind of thing. Whatever, doesn't matter. Or like looks at his financial situation, goes, oh man, I need to do something. I need to do something to sort myself out. What you've got to be careful of is there's a lot of motivational speakers out there. Motivation,
exactly.
And
Tony Robbins.
Yes, exactly. Tony Robbins.
Somehow he is still in the business. I do not know how.
Yeah. And motivation, you've got to be careful of, I believe, because motivation is a feeling. It's an emotion. And I thought, man alive, this is a cool statement that I came up with. Listen to this.
You came up with.
Listen to this. Motivation gets you started. So yes, you can feel motivated to start doing something.
Yeah.
But motivation's not always there, hey?
Very true.
And so I wrote this down and said, motivation gets you started. However, self-discipline and consistency keep you going, because motivation is not always going to be enough.
Very good. Very good.
Boom. Mic drop.
That's the episode. Thank you for watching. That's pretty good, dude. That's really good.
And that's helped me very much with making sure that whatever I do physically every morning, I've tried to integrate it as part of my lifestyle. I get up, I have 2 cups of coffee, and it's either, okay, fine, it's time for my workout, or it's time to go for a run. And I'll promise, and I'm going to be real, and I'm going to be vulnerable.
No.
I didn't go for a run yesterday morning because I didn't feel motivated. My self-discipline was nowhere. So I didn't go for a run, and I feel terrible about it, because that was supposed to be a run.
But that's a problem, though. If you feel terrible about it, if you're finding you feel terrible about yourself, that's a problem.
Maybe I'm being a little bit too hard on myself.
Yeah. Otherwise, you haven't been listening properly to your self-help, all right? Sometimes you can have a break.
Yes. I did, and I did. Okay. I was very good and consistent, and then took a lengthy break, and now I'm back into it.
Nice.
But even now, but today being Friday, I've set out everything so that, like, I can't go for a run on a Friday morning because we do this. Okay, it's already too hot. The sun's up by 6 o'clock in the morning. It's ridiculous. So I make sure that Friday is a workout day. So once we're done with this podcast,
that makes sense.
Once we're done with this podcast, I've got all my workout gear here. So
that makes sense.
Then Saturday is the break day, should be the break and the cheat day, and then Sunday we start with the running again. But when I made the decision to make it part of my everyday routine, it was good motivation, but I also needed to be disciplined. And I think what happens with motivation, what was the other thing? Oh man, did I write it down? Motivation is what you feel when you see the results of the consistency and the discipline. Oh, listen to that.
It's getting too good.
I think I'm going to start a YouTube.
I
think I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to write a book.
I think it's good.
Just like
we are
everyone else.
winding up. We're winding up to the end. So give us some final thoughts.
Yes. I think in any way that a man wants to self-improve, a level of consistency and discipline is going to get him a lot further. Wanting to improve is not enough. It's doing the work. You do have to have a little bit of that, get off your ass and go and do the work. And you have to and you're going to be very uncomfortable. It's going to be painful. It's going to be, not part of the norm. But the more you do it, the easier it does get, or the more you start enjoying it. And that's where that self-discipline comes in, especially on those days where you don't feel like it. Oh, I know I need to get better with girls, but I don't want to go and approach that pretty girl that I just saw. It's like, no, dude, go do it. Doesn't matter how you feel, and that kind of thing. So, and it's all on you as the individual guy to find how to do that. The best books about this do not tell you what to do. They help you with a mindset. Like the book that I've mentioned before, that book Relentless by Tim Grover. He got a lot of complaints from people who read the book and said, "Oh, it doesn't tell me what to do." Like, no, of course it doesn't tell you what to do. You've got to go find you've got to create that mindset, and you've got to go and do the work that you connect with, and you've got to improve in your way because everyone's different, and so and a lot of guys get very hardcore. Yeah, a lot of guys you get very hardcore. David Goggins, all that stuff. Just get out there and run in the snow.
That's the stuff that doesn't get me. I still feel like me because I know him and I know who I am. I don't need someone shouting at me to like be better. It's like just chill the freak down, bro.
I think what guys need to remember is that even making small improvements make a huge difference. And and my favorite line from the first Equalizer movie, it's progress, not perfection. As long as you're moving forward, you're doing well.
I'm sure they didn't come up with it, but yeah.
But I heard it in the movie, so it's good enough for me.
It's got to be enough for you.
And being discontent is a good thing for a man. Not being content with where you are and always wanting to grow. I think it's always a good attitude to have. You can always be growing.
That's right. Like a flower.
Jeez.
On that note, thank you, Bruce. You definitely had more investment into this, which was good. I thought it was no, it's good. It's good. I mean,
where I hang out.
No, I like it. It's cool. I'm almost gonna watch, but it's like things, for example, with leadership. I probably will be reading certain books or watching a certain podcast around leadership. Maybe not about how to become alpha, because I don't really care about the whole alpha male crap. But I think it's me doing that. It was also my self, whatever.
It's self-improvement. It really is self-improvement. Exactly. You're going to, exactly. If I find anything in my space that I think might benefit you, I'll definitely send you some stuff.
Of course. Yeah. I definitely need it. Cool. All right, bud. Awesome. Thank you for that. It's always a pleasure. That was a good chat, as always.
Yeah, it was. Really interesting.
I've also realized why my picture's not clear, because I'm not using my new camera. I was like, what the hell? It's like, I mean, it's supposed to be 1080p, and I look like a, you know what? I look like, it's the same kind of view. I don't think you've ever watched it. It's called The Ring. And it's all.
Oh, the movie The Ring. I know about it. I never watched it.
Shit out of me. Okay, I watched the original. The original is
the Japanese one.
Way scarier than Hollywood, because you can see the whole Hollywood thing. You can tell it is scary, but it's Hollywood. The original Japanese one, they don't play with majorly special effects. They don't do the whole Hollywood thing. Oh, my soul. Why I'm bringing it in is that blurry little face on the screen is kind of like this. Oh, my word. I don't know why I watched it. I literally, and I mean this, I could not sleep properly for about a week.
Yo.
It was bad. Now, bear in mind, I don't even watch horror movies because they scare the shit out of me. But but that was bad. That and another movie called I think it's called Deep Water or Red Water with Jennifer Connelly. Anyways, that's a whole nother conversation. Thank you, Bruce.
Awesome. This has been the Spaghetti Junction podcast. Please comment, like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, and we will catch you in the next one.
See you guys in the next one. Goodbye.